Good evening and welcome to this edition of News Leader on 6. I'm Jim Fuller. In tonight's news, unemployment remains low in Tennessee and even lower in Coffee County. We crowned a new Miss Tullahoma, and County Mayor Judd Matheny introduces us to his right-hand man. We'll have these stories and more on tonight's News Leader on 6.
Hi, my name is Ringo, here at Barkview Senior Living. They're human-friendly. That's why I love it here, and so does my senior human. When they want a bite, they get chef-prepared meals, and so do I. Movies in the theater, day trips, walks on the trail, and other senior humans to play with. The grass and the grounds are exquisite. It's everything my human needs to be healthy and active. Barkview. A Parkview Senior Living. For your dog's best friend, you.
There's a lot of talk about the risks associated with the COVID-19 vaccine, but the reality is, it's safer than going for a run. Give it a shot. Find a free appointment today at covid19.tn.gov.
Welcome back. Tennessee started 2023 with continued low unemployment, according to the latest data released by the Department of Labor and Workforce Development. The local Coffee County unemployment rate for February was 3.1%. The statewide rate for January 2023 came in at 3.5%. The fourth consecutive month, the state's jobless numbers remained at that level. In a year-to-year comparison, the number was also unchanged from the 3.5% rate the state recorded in January 2022. Over the month, Tennessee's workforce increased by 21,800 jobs. The professional and business services sector led the state in job growth, followed by the leisure and hospitality sector, and then the mining, logging, and construction section. During the last 12 months, Tennessee's employees added 123,200 jobs to their payrolls. The leisure and hospitality sector did the most hiring during the last year. The trade, transportation, and utility sector saw the next highest amount of growth, followed by the education and health services sector. Across the nation, unemployment dropped in January by 0.1 of a percentage point to 3.4%. 1 year ago, the rate for the United States came in at 4%. While unemployment remains low across Tennessee, employers are still searching for great workers who can help them help their companies to grow. Jobs for TN.gov currently has more than 350,000 open positions posted. We'll be right back after these messages.
Here at Stan McNabb Collision Center, we work with all major insurance companies, and we get the job done right the first time, on time.
Well, I grew up in Tullahoma. We'd always done business with Stan McNabb, so when we needed collision service after a run-in with a deer, we knew to call those guys. We already had trust with them. We called Cody. He took great care of us. He kept us posted every step of the way, and we couldn't have been more pleased.
Getting your vehicle back to pre-loss condition shouldn't be a headache. So in the event of an accident, contact me, Cody Hall, at Stan McNabb Collision Center.
My husband was diagnosed with a spinal infection. He lost his ability to swallow and the movement of his legs.
I couldn't turn over in bed, I couldn't walk, I couldn't eat.
They were just wonderful in the treatment and care they gave my husband.
I regained my mobility where I was able to go home.
It is miraculous.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Welcome back. At last weekend's Miss Tullahoma pageant, Addison Mahaffey was crowned Miss Tullahoma. Let's watch the conclusion of the pageant along with an interview with Addison by News Leader's Candy Couch.
At this time, Miss Ansley Vaughn will take her final walk as the reigning Miss Tullahoma. Thank you, Ansley. And now, I will announce your 2023 Miss Tullahoma and her court. Fourth runner-up, number 19, Olivia Ann Bowen. Third runner-up, number 24, Jaden Brianna Keith. Second runner-up, number 11, Brooklyn Danae Hampton. First runner-up, number 4, Hannah Aline Chesser. And the 2023 Miss Tullahoma, number 14, Addison Elizabeth Mahaffey. Congratulations. Miss Ansley Vaughn will crown your 2023 Miss Tullahoma. Our 2023 Miss Tullahoma and her court. Please allow Candy Couch to make her way to the stage and take a picture of Miss Tullahoma and her court. After that, those who are interested in making pictures, make your way to the stage.
Everybody, I'm so excited to be here with my friend, the new Miss Tullahoma of 2023, Addison Elizabeth Mahaffey. And isn't she pretty? And tonight I was just so excited to see all of you all out there and all your pretty long hair. You know, there were only 4 people in the whole pageant that wore their hair up. And most of the girls had beautiful long hair like you. And so tell everybody about you. And you are a senior?
Yes, I'm a senior here at Tullahoma High School. I am working on getting my CNA license currently, and I'm going to go to Tennessee Tech in the fall to pursue nursing.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yes.
Absolutely wonderful. Can you imagine if you're in a room feeling bad and somebody like this walks in? Wouldn't that make you just instantly feel better? Oh,
Thank you.
Well, I know you've been cheering. What else do you do with the high school?
Cheer is the only thing I do here at the high school. I'm also a part of HOSA, but I dance outside of school, and I teach gymnastics every Wednesday.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
Wow. So you'll tumble for us, huh?
Sure.
Okay.
Maybe not.
Well, now, 4 years ago, I had the pleasure of sitting right here, and when we were congratulating you for the Junior Miss crown, and here we are. This beauty runs in your family. You have a beautiful family, and such a wonderful. I mean, there's so many of them here.
Oh, they're everywhere.
Isn't that
they're
great?
Everywhere.
They're so proud of you and all that. Isn't that great? So what are you going to do this summer before you go off? To school.
Once I finish my CNA course, I'm going to hopefully go work at NHC or a living facility and continue to get some practice in with CNA skills to go into nursing. I also am going to continue teaching Tennessee gymnastics.
That's great. Oh, that's great. Was there anything else you would like to say to the crowd? You know you'll be in the Christmas parade. That's not good.
I will be in the Christmas parade, so look for me.
Okay.
Thank you to my family who literally pushes me all the time. And they're all standing right here in front of me watching me talk. And it's kind of awkward, but it's okay.
And you know what? I thought it was so sweet that you said your mom is your best friend. That's so sweet.
That was actually a surprise. So whenever I was getting ready today, me and my aunt decided this is something that we're going to do for my mom, and we made it up, and she's been with me all day long, so trying to practice that answer was so hard because she was always next to me. So during the time before the top 10, I was constantly reading over and over and over.
That is so sweet. Oh, I'm even touched by that. Okay, well, I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
I love you, and I love your family. So
We love y'all.
We wish you a happy reign, and that's okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
The Miss Tullahoma pageant starts airing this weekend on Charter Channel 193, along with our Facebook and YouTube pages. More news is coming up in a moment.
Parkview Senior Living, active, independent senior living at its finest.
We teach Parkinson's patients how to move big and not let the Parkinson's slow them down. I've had patients I've treated in-house that could not even stand up, could not roll over in the bed, left the facility walking with a walker, have come back to us in outpatient and continued their big program and are now completely, handling life. The success of the program is just phenomenal.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Welcome back. In the conclusion of our coverage of the Tullahoma Area Chamber of Commerce's membership banquet, we have this clip of outgoing President Elizabeth Banks transitioning to and welcoming incoming President Andy Webb.
Friends, I want to thank you for the support and collaboration during another year when Think Tullahoma was not only our magazine's title, but also our guiding principle for helping us make plans that made our town that offers so much to us. In the last year, we have worked together to restructure the terms of the Chamber membership. We've planned successful fundraisers that have led to a very impressive finance report, and each of us has contributed toward the overall result. It has absolutely been my pleasure to serve alongside the ambassadors and the board of directors and to try to keep up with the hands and feet of the Chamber of Commerce, Hope Nunley, Tisha Fritz, and Lily Smith. Now seems a good time to recognize them with a round of applause for all they've done. And as my last order of duty, I am excited to pass the torch to someone with compassion, brains, and the heart to serve well as our next president. He is so well equipped to lead our chamber into the next century. He's a friend to me and to many of you in our room. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the incoming president, Mr. Andy Webb.
All right. All right. There's a new sheriff in town. Thanks, Elizabeth. That was very nice. First off, before I get into my speech or anything, I'd like to thank our outgoing board members, Dr. Amy Nichols, Caroline Hennigan, Chad Hatfield, Danielle Carew, Jennifer Moody, Josh Clary, Vicki Shelton, and then I'm going to welcome our new board members. Cody Cleveland with CFC Recycling, Jessica Lawton with the Sin Federal Credit Union, Joanna Reynolds with Smart Bank Mortgage, Pam Carver with Keller Williams Realty, Scarlett Carpenter with First Vision Bank, and Troy Martin with First Bank. Now, thank you all for coming here tonight, in attending the Tullahoma Chamber 2022 celebration. Speaking for the Chamber, we really appreciate you coming out here. We know you have very busy schedules. You've got a lot of things on your plate, and we just appreciate you taking the time to attend this event. And before I say anything else, I'd like to thank Elizabeth Banks for her outstanding leadership during 2022. 2022 was a challenging year. We were coming out of COVID. There was still some uncertainty. She navigated it great during that time and did it with her usual class. I'd also like to recognize Hope Nunley and Tisha Fritz and Lily Smith. This trio did an outstanding job in 2022, and I've said it to Hope a lot of times. We did a fantastic job, I think, of pulling off our events, doing the work that we needed to do when it could have been an absolute disaster, during COVID, and it would have been, wouldn't have been too shocking. But they did a phenomenal job, and I think the Chamber's in as good a health as it's ever been because of that. Last but not least, I'd like to thank my wife, Amy. I couldn't be here without her. She's gives me great support. I wouldn't be here. She's truly a very lucky person. And y'all are lucky people too, because I did have a 5-hour speech, and Amy deleted it before I could memorize it. So give her kudos. Now, I'm honored to be the 2023 Tullahoma Chamber President. And as I said, we had a very extremely successful 2022. And my vision for the 2023 is really to keep the momentum going. We've got great things. We think this, we finally have a sense of normalcy, and let's keep our momentum going. Usually I say to Hope, I do it another way, and I think I told Jim Woodard this too at one point when he asked me, and I said, my goal is not to screw anything up. I need to stay out of the way and let them do their jobs and give them the guidance where they need to be. But we have a great staff here at the Chamber. We have a strong board. We have fantastic ambassadors and an engaged membership. It's a very simple formula, it's not a mistake or it's not an accident how this chamber is able to operate the way it does. So how do we keep this momentum going? Well, this means for 2023, we want to continue increasing our membership. Tisha shared with you the goals she has for in the number of memberships we have, and she wants to bring us to 500 members. that's a great way to continue the momentum. I think we continue to provide networking, opportunities, training, and organizing the great events that we have, the recognition we do for the women impacting the community, the 40 under 40, James Fuller's Wobble Gobble. If y'all have never been to that, even if you don't run, it's fun to go down there the Saturday before Thanksgiving and just watch the activity going on. And a lot of people come from pretty far away to participate in that event. And then also the Christmas parade, which is probably the signature event that we do. So keep doing these events that Tullahoma can be proud of. If we execute these goals, we will achieve my vision of not screwing it up.
We'll be right back after these messages.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. It's a Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
We tend to lose our motivation when we have something that's chronic, but you've got to do what you can early on as you can. After I'd exercise like that, I would have a lot of energy to do housework or whatever I needed. Well, I would recommend it highly to anyone at any degree of Parkinson.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Welcome back. In this week's video clip from Coffee County Mayor Judd Matheny, Judd introduces us to Sam Harper, his Chief of Staff.
I wanted to introduce somebody today. If you come up to see our office or maybe we're out at an event together, you're going to see Sam Harper. Sam is the Chief of Staff up here, and he's been with me for about 25 years. And as a friend and a confidant, I wanted him to take a few minutes to talk about his background, and then we'll close shot with a few comments. Go ahead, Sam, tell them about you.
All right. I grew up as a teenager in Tullahoma. My first class when my father was transferred to the base was in Frances Mitchell's 6th grade at Bel Air, and she's been my favorite teacher ever since. But I graduated from high school there. I went up to Vanderbilt. I was fortunate enough to get in there. And when I was at Vanderbilt, I knew that I was going to have to do some military service because my family has done that traditionally. So I went through Navy ROTC at Vanderbilt, went out into the fleet for several years after that, and then left the Navy and started working out in California because that's where I was discharged. And after that, I said I want to go to graduate school. So I ended up going to graduate school and getting a master's in business from Stanford University, and ended up staying out there, working there and in Houston for a while. And then the second time I came back to Northern California to live, I got transferred there. I met my wife. She was in the HR department of the company I worked for. We got married and in San Francisco. And then as we decided to start a family, she said, I don't want to do this in California. And so that led us back here to Tennessee. My mother was still living at the time, and we thought this would be a better place to raise kids. So during that process of living out there, I got to know a guy named Lee Atwater. He was Ronald Reagan's campaign manager and later the chairman of the Republican National Committee. And Lee taught me how to campaign. And we had some very successful times there in California. And then when we moved here, I still had the political bug, but I didn't do much about it until 2000. A former Coffee County Commissioner, Robin Hines, was a mentor of mine throughout my life. And he called me up one day and said, hey, there's some kid that wants to run against the incumbent Democrat, and I want you to help him. I said, okay. He gave me a name and number, and I called this kid up, and it was 31-year-old Judd Matheny, and we planned to spend an hour talking about what we would do to do a campaign. Well, we spent about 6 to 8 hours and came up with a plan to run it, and so I've been with Judd ever since. I think Judd is an outstanding political entity. He's a great thinker. He's very principled, and he stays and with his vision and his principles coincide very neatly. So when he asked me to join him over here at Coffee County, I said, heck yeah, because I think we've got some plans. We're doing some great things. It will get better and better because this county is going to become the gem of southern Middle Tennessee.
All right, Sam, and he left out the fact that he's retired from Tullahoma school system too, and so that was cool. But Sam knows a lot of people in the community, obviously, and he's a great asset and really gets this office running smooth and staying running smooth. And then next week when we talk, we'll meet Constance, who is our executive administrative assistant here, helps Sam and I both, and you'll also see her when you come in. But quick briefing on county business as we begin to wrap up this week. Working on the animal shelter again today, going out for the survey and the appraisals this morning actually to work on those a little bit. Beginning our budget process for real. Our budget packets were sent out 1st of February. They all came back or sometime this week. We've received them all back. The budget packets go out to the department heads. The department heads fill out any budget decreases, increases they may have, as well as any justification, as well as some justifications for their current budgets. Those come in, we consolidate those to make sure they're all congruent, and then we'll have a meeting with the county commission and we'll begin the budget process in person out here in the commission room. Our cameras, we're working on those in the hearing rooms. They should be up and running in the next couple of months. As you may know already, the full commission meeting is now televised live, and it's archived on YouTube on Coffee County's website. So got a lot of cool things going on. Revenues are holding out. Mega site negotiations are going well. The families are meeting with the commissioners again next week to iron out some things. There's a lot of good things going on in Coffee County. Be proud of your county. Be proud of your county employees that are out here, and be proud of our school systems. And we'll look forward to talking to you next week. Thank you.
A pair of Tullahoma women are in custody after trying to pass counterfeit $100 bills in Tullahoma. Suspects Kirsten DeGraff and Allison Gibson were charged after Tullahoma police were called to Speedway convenience store on North Jackson Street in Tullahoma. where they were told one of these women had tried to pass counterfeit $100 bills. Police spotted the suspect's vehicle shortly after the call and pulled the women over. Police say DeGraff, the one accused of trying to pass the fake money, got out of the vehicle and approached officers. Ms. DeGraff showed the officers the fake money and said she had received it from Allison Gibson, the driver of the vehicle. After running the two suspects' identification, both were in trouble. DeGraff was wanted on outstanding warrants while Gibson was driving on a revoked license. When questioned, DeGraff said that she had planned to use the $100 allegedly given to her by Gibson to purchase a money order. However, she was refused by the clerk, who told her both of the $100 bills she gave her were counterfeit. Mr. Graff denied to police that she was aware the bills were fake. Gibson also claimed she did not know the $100 bills were counterfeit. 4 more counterfeit bills were found during the search, along with several types of drugs. Gibson tried to hide what turned out to be 15 ecstasy pills and 3 grams of methamphetamine. Both women were charged with criminal simulation as a result of the incident at Speedway, and both were hit with various other drug charges. Stay with us. Your weather forecast is coming up next.
For many senior citizens, life looks like this, but it doesn't have to. When you make your home at Parkview Senior Living, life after retirement takes on a whole new meaning. Daily exercise options, fun outings, happy hour, game nights, movies and popcorn, arts and crafts, enjoying friends over chef-prepared meals. Parkview Senior Living, where you're always home, but you're never home alone.
I had a knee replacement, so they've got me at Life Care, which I'm very, very thankful for. I couldn't garden, I couldn't do my flower beds, I can't chase my little dogs. I have been in several therapy sessions for knees and back, and that's the best therapist I believe I've ever been to. It's tremendous because I'm able to walk again, but if it wasn't for the care, I wouldn't be where I am.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this day. Our record high was in 1925 at 81 degrees. Record low was in 1996 at 10 degrees. Average high on this day is 59, and the average low is 37. Rain in the forecast for tonight with a low of 48. Mostly sunny weather expected on Friday with a high of 57 and a low of 33. On Saturday, partly sunny weather expected with a high of 57 and a low of 45. And that's our news leader report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 for News Leader on 6. You have a good evening.